So today I'm gonna kind of just show you guys how I use alphas as kind of like an underlying base to just get started with hand sculpting like custom scales. So I'm working on this creature, the scissor jaw, and I just wanted to show you real quick. This is actually one of my buddies on Instagram who designed this creature. This is his page right here. So if you guys are interested in looking at cool creature designs, he has a lot of really cool concept stuff. And yeah, I asked him if he would mind if I sculpted his scissor jaw, and yeah, so that's what we're doing here. But yeah, so I kind of just wanted to show you um, how I get started by using alphas, and then using them to kind of plan out what you're going to do with your scales. So the reason I do it this way is because it's kind of when you have like this kind of blank looking mesh, it's just kind of hard to start kind of planning the scales. You know, if you're going to sit there and hand draw every single one, you kind of like overthink the shape of each one, how it looks, and you can sit there and do that, or you could even kind of do it in a method where you're kind of just like, hold on one sec. Kind of doing it in a method where you're kind of like hashing a little bit, like that kind of thing. But it's just kind of like you look at every line, you overthink it, and it doesn't really leave much detail under there, unless you kind of like paint a little bump on there or something first. But let me show you what I mean. So let's get our standard brush and bring in an alpha. Um, I think I'll use this one. I'm kind of familiar with this one. Um, so what I like to do is kind of just put it all over the body, um, and then sculpt on top of it. But I'm going to do like kind of a low intensity, so it's not like really um, making too much of an impression in the mesh. Um, I'm just going to drag this out here. And I had already masked these details that I don't want to get messed up by the alphas previously. You don't really need to worry about it overlapping or anything like that because you're going to draw on top of it anyway. Alright, I think that is good enough. I'm going to do a little bit on the top, but I'm going to change the alpha because I'll probably want to do like different kind of scales up there on the top. I'm thinking this one here. And I'm going to turn off symmetry, so I'm just getting one of them. Okay, so I mean that in itself doesn't look that bad, but the thing is, it's not very custom, And you know, if you're looking at some reference, I have like a model of a dinosaur in front of me that I'm kind of gonna copy. Just but now you have this underlying texture that you can draw on top of, and what's cool about it is it leaves like a nice bump under there, like a little bit of extra detail as you, and it also gives you a way to start trying to map out the scales. So let's hit X again so our symmetry's back on, and then I'll show you what I mean. So let's go to our dam standard tool and just zoom in, and now you have like these patterns and lines and stuff that you can follow. So you can basically use them to make hand-drawn scales. And you can either keep the shape that was there and just kind of follow them, or you can completely switch it up and make your own shape, you know, make it completely custom. Like this one, you could maybe cut in half here. But it kind of gives you like a nice way to just not be so concerned about every line, and it kind of just helps you figure out what to do. You're not sitting there trying to plan every little scale out, like I don't know where to put this next one and that kind of thing. And as you can see, what's left underneath is like uh, a nice bit of texture that you wouldn't have if you hadn't done this way. And I don't know if you've watched my other videos, or if you don't know, but I'm just doing the negative imprint by just sculpting, and then if I want to add the kind of beveled edge, you just hit Alt, and that'll give you um, the positive, which gives you that tight beveled edge. So there's an area right there. Let's zoom out a little bit. It's already starting to look pretty cool. And then up here you can do some bigger scales, because obviously you want the shape to change. You don't want to have everything looking exactly the same. Some of that variety that you find in nature. But so you don't have to be so precise with your lines, that they can kind of be a little bit choppy. So it really just kind of helps you get going quickly, um, rather than kind of, you know, trying to, like, you can do it over, like if you do it on this blank mesh, like over here, you know, you can start to just kind of hash and draw these lines, but then like underneath it, you still don't really even have like a cool um, kind of bumpiness to it. So you can do it either way for sure. I just tend to feel like I'm struggling a little bit to figure out where I want to put the lines when I do it on the blank mesh like that. And I feel like having those alphas underneath is kind of just like a guide a little bit is nice. And you can do a mix and match some parts of the model if you feel like you kind of have a better idea of what you want to sculpt in your head. You could do it this way. Um, but yeah, so that's the basic gist. Um, and then you would probably want to do a little bit of clay build up on it as well. I like to put an alpha on here, 06, and lower this down so it's not too intense. Maybe lower the draw size a little bit, but then you can kind of sculpt over some of the scales, add a little bit of additional detail, and kind of add them up, build them up a little bit. It looks like my symmetry was a little weird there. I might have to check that out. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Um, I think I'll make another video on uh, kind of how to turn these into hand sculpting. But I also like to do alphas on the hands and the legs for these types of scales, and then start to go in and edit them. You can see they're stretched a little bit here at the bottom, but they've given you a good start, and then you can kind of just come in with your um, dam standard and just kind of finish them off the way that they should really look there. Um, and then you can, yeah, like I was saying, I want to make another video on how to actually turn these into a more hand sculpted look where they kind of overlap and stuff. I think I'll make that another video, the next video that I show. But basically, you can just mask these and um, then use the move tool or the inflate tool or something to kind of even the clay build-up tool to make them overlap each other. Like if you look at a real lizard, a lot of the times this portion here will be hanging over. So I think in my next video I'll go over how to do that. Let's clear this mask. Let's clear that mask and just take a look at how the neck's looking. So even just the alphas don't look too bad, but you can see the hand sculpted little portion there. It looks much cooler. So if you go through and do the whole thing hand sculpting like that, it's going to turn out a lot more custom looking. And yeah, so if you guys like these videos, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment, and let me know you like it. Check me out at thecreaturecreator.com and Instagram, the Creature Creator. Hope you guys have a good day.